For all the members would save our souls, if you would just stand and take a bow. Where's Miss Jackie? Hey, there we go, everybody, all the community. Yes, thank you so very much. And let this truly be an example of when we listen to one another, when we listen and we actually hear one another, then it really sets the table for communication, for dialogue, but most importantly for understanding. And also knowing, is what I learned 20 years ago, the world's greatest experts on where they live are the people who live in the community. So give it back up to save our souls. One of the greatest challenges, I would say, in terms of serving as mayor of the city of New Orleans and coming in 7 years ago, was making sure that the federal dollars that were allocated to the city of New Orleans, that we were actively focusing on ensuring that we spent every dollar, that we maximized our opportunity to improve the city of New Orleans, to improve historic foundations that have paid dividends for the city of New Orleans for generations. And one of them, as you know, is right here. Hollow ground, no doubt about it, Congo Square. We have to give it up to our ancestors. We're here for that. But also ensuring that we bounced back and we came back better than ever and better than before. Central to that was communicating with FEMA, having FEMA leadership sitting side by side and really working with us hand in hand to do just that, spend the money, making sure that it's allocated but that we actually do the work. When Municipal Auditorium came up, again, a priority. Don't lose the $35+ million that was allocated for this facility, for its rebirth. But we had to have a real project. We had to demonstrate that. But we also made certain that the voice of the community in listening, that they were a part of what is being created. And we asked FEMA, and I did personally, give us the time. And sometimes when that happens, you hear, it could be loud voices, not so loud. Sometimes people get afraid of that. And they get scared and they back off. And I'm like, no. We have to be willing to listen. We have to be willing to, again, work together and come up with a real vision. And that's what the city of New Orleans, through you all, what you all have done. So thank you so much for your leadership. And you're going to hear from individuals that have been just instrumental getting us where we are today. And the first that I want to bring up, soon to be the next CAO of the city of New Orleans, but who's led this city relative to infrastructure in this city, who was on the ground 20 years plus ago, who ensured again that the city of New Orleans was going to come back better, and that's only because of his commitment and dedication to this city, and that is Joe Threat.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's glad seeing you here. I mean, you know, this is a testament that if you drop all your personalities and you collaborate, you can go a long way. And you can make things happen, right? And I always tell my staff when they get in those little tiffs and stuff, hey, I don't do personalities, okay? I'm a businessman. I like to make things happen. When I first came to New Orleans on orders to Marine Forces Reserve, was my last set of orders in the Marine Corps after 26 years. Brought my family here. At that time, I think it was something going on, casino, ice hockey or something like that going on here. It was operational. And I took my orders like everywhere else. I said, I'll do my 3 in New Orleans, and then we'll move somewhere where we'll retire. Well, Katrina changed that, because I lost everything. And most of my neighborhood in 70122 right across from Caprini Church and Redeemer High School where my girls went to school. We lost a lot of our neighbors there too. It's a somber time, but it's an exciting time for me. And like they say, life is a circle, right? Little did I know, FEMA tapped on my door and said, hey, we want you to take over the Louisiana Recovery Office. So I had an opportunity in 2009 to 2012 to make a difference in the city. And it was personal for me then because I had lost all my stuff with y'all. So I said, hey, this is my city now. So I worked hard with FEMA. Some of my project managers who worked for me, Eddie Williams, who's Region 6 FEMA right now, and all my other staff that supported us. And what I'm proud of is a single settlement to build 83 brand new schools in the city. There, Eddie, right there. And Eddie and his team in public assistance put that together, and it was the first single settlement in FEMA history. And people model us right now. FEMA, Eddie's still over the recovery office here to move forward. You know, my second opportunity is when the mayor asked me to come take over the city and move the recovery even further, gave me opportunity to finish my work. Working with Save Our Souls, we worked through a lot of difficulties, and hey, it's more to follow. As I pick up as a CEO, move it into the next administration, what I've got to do is take this baton and hand it off, but it's going to be moving. I guarantee you that. Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed. And making things happen, getting results, that's what it's all about. I want to ask Mr. Vince Smith, who is our Director of Capital Projects, to please come forth. Vince, share a few words.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Vince Smith, Director of Capital Projects. I always start out by saying that it is the vision of capital projects to complete the capital, to engage the capital program to improve the quality of life for the citizens of New Orleans. This is a great day today. It's a good day. And, you know, as I was coming in, the thought just hit me. This is kind of a bookend for me. I will be retiring at the end of the year. And when I first came to the city in 2010, one of the first, if not the first project I completed was, Armstrong Park. When I came in, there were some issues with the contractor. I think they were declared in default. The project had been abandoned, and it was in disarray. And you know, I always give honor to God for, just the grace and the goodness that He has given to me. And, came in, we got that project moving, got it complete. What you see today is the results of that work. And here I am now, closing the book in, kicking off the Municipal Auditorium work. As the mayor said, we would not be here without the collaboration and partnership with the community. The community definitely stepped up. The renderings that you see came from the community. They didn't come from us. Very organic. This is an organic project, and that's, it doesn't get any better than that. When you've got collaboration and cooperation with the community and government, that's the way it's supposed to work. This is working. I want to give a shout out to Right Cars Construction, to Miguel Viteri, the CPA project manager, Vergis Rome architect, the architect. Great team. Looking forward to seeing the FEMA work. Capital Projects is responsible for the FEMA work. We're engaging that in 3 phases. We're doing the roof first. We've got the construction packages will be finished mid-September for the exterior hardening. We're going to be replacing doors and windows and fixing the exterior. The 3rd phase is interior stability. We're going to be doing environmental remediation, and we're going to be protecting the historical elements inside of the building. And then we're going to flip it to Jeff and to the community to take it home. So, this has been a great experience being in the city and, I've got real mixed feelings. I'm moving so that I can be with grandkids and I can sow into their lives and into the future. So, I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and to be a part of the recovery as we come up on the 20th anniversary of Katrina. And, I just speak blessings upon SOS, upon the city, and just pray that God would continue to bless this city to his glory. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vince, very much. And at this time, I would like to call up, I see Councilman Thomas, you're here representing the New Orleans City Council, and it is truly an honor to ask you to come up, say a few words in regards to, again, what this means, and thank you for the partnership.
First of all, thank you, Madam Mayor, Vince, Mr. Threat, all of the city workers, Save Our Souls. And I was just sitting there kind of reminiscing, Congo Square, Code Noir, what used to happen here with free people of color, that day that they were allowed to celebrate and be free. And then, I always mention my family, especially my father's family from this area, to Storyville, when it was part of Storyville. And then Jackie, in May of 1930, the year both of my parents were born, this building was open. So for those of us who are deep-rooted in this place, in this space, I tell folk, Madam Mayor, I think the good thing about this, and I always tell people, New Orleans is one of the few places where souls live still, right? Where dead folk really don't die here. Our traditions don't allow it. So though we may be utilizing this money to reopen this building, when I talk to my ancestors, they've been in there anyway.
Amen. That's it. That's it. And they're absolutely here right now. We talk about collaboration, and you heard us talk about the federal government. Well, FEMA has been with us side by side. And Eddie, you have just been a true partner with the city of New Orleans. I know you are not only, you're from New Orleans and for New Orleans. And you've made that known literally every step of the way. I can attest to that. And I also have to say, I know that Tony Robinson just recently retired, but he was shoulder to shoulder with the city of New Orleans, wanting to make sure that we didn't have to turn back not $1 relative to the FEMA allocation that we received. So thank you, Eddie. Come forth on behalf of FEMA for the city of New Orleans. Thank you so much.
It's been a long time coming for us to get to where we are right now with this particular building. But, I go back to my journey, as Joe mentioned and Vince mentioned, my journey with getting into the role where I am today. There was no way that I could have ever thought when I first started working for FEMA almost 20 years ago that I would be tasked with the charge that I ended up being tasked with, and that is making sure that the state of Louisiana, but more importantly, the city of New Orleans, my city that I was raised in, born in, this particular building is so instrumental to me because being a member of Tambourine and Fan and Hunters Field, this is a cornerstone for where we would come and we would sing, and we would sing the tambourine song. So this building has a lot of history for me as well. Just as all of the public schools that Joe mentioned, I went to the public school. I was in the public school system. So for me, this job was organic, and the role that I was in, I believe God put me in this position for a reason. And my goal is to continue to make sure that, as Madam Mayor said, the city is able to spend every single dollar that we've previously obligated for the infrastructure, this building being one, roads and other infrastructure being the others. And I think it's important that you guys understand the reality of what the city of New Orleans has had to endure in terms of just the recovery from Hurricane Katrina, not to mention the 7 or 8 other disasters that came after Katrina. Just for Katrina alone, we're talking about over $4 billion of funding that was provided to the city of New Orleans for infrastructure. I'm talking about just the city of New Orleans as an applicant. I'm not talking about the Recovery School District, Orleans Parish School Board, Sewage and Water Board, $4 billion. That's a lot of money, and it has taken us 20 years to get to where we are and get these final projects, but I can tell you it's been a labor of love for me. I will never stop fighting for the city to make sure that we can spend the last of those dollars, and I just commend Joe Thread and all of the other administrations that came before Madam Mayor. We've done what we needed to do. It's taken us some time to get there, but we need to be proud of the infrastructure that's going to be left behind after Katrina, because there was a substantial commitment to this area. So thank you for everything that you guys have done to be good partners and collaborating with FEMA and the state. And I can't leave without giving Tony Robinson, my former boss, who retired recently, some kudos. And Joe being my former boss as well, I see the same leadership that he gave us at FEMA, he's having here with the city of New Orleans. So great people that I've had to endure and work with, so I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Eddie, very much. You know, you talked about leadership and the ability to keep things going, meaning the continuity of it. And it takes all of us as we lead to prepare for the next. And I know that we've not only evolved over the past 20, but we're empowered for the next 20. And it comes through, I have to say, leadership. Representative Knox, thank you so much. You made sure, man, I know Senator Duplessis as well, Senator Harris and the like, but our local delegation to ensure that we created a taxing district right here so that we could make sure that the revenue that comes, that it's reinvested right back here so that Treme lives for the people of today and even of tomorrow, but again, through the city of New Orleans. Thank you for making that possible. And listen, we have one example, even here recently, that we just cut the ribbon on, and that was Trader Joe's, working very hard to bring Trader Joe's to the city of New Orleans. It's in the Bio District taxing district. But after 1 year of operation, it will yield over 800,000 back into the area. So that's only one project. So we're talking about, again, reinvestments, and it's only because of leadership that stands. Please come, Representative Knox.
Good afternoon, everyone. I won't take long, but I would be remiss to say that, in full disclosure, I'm a little bit selfish. I literally live 2 blocks down Dumaine Street, and so I look down the street and I see this every day. As I said yesterday at a press conference, this week for me and my family, it's mixed feelings. It's mixed emotions for a number of reasons. But as it relates to this project, like Mr. Threat, my last orders in the Marine Corps was here as well. And so I made this my home. And when I look in this audience, I see my neighbors, Miss Sabrina, Miss Cheryl, Miss Jackie, and the like. And I have to say, I got my education about this city and in particular this neighborhood and what it means not just to Treme, to New Orleans, but to the world. And I got my education from these individuals. And as the mayor mentioned, this didn't come easy. And you could talk to any of my neighbors and anyone, and they could tell you, we had some pretty frank conversations about the path we should go. But what most important about all of that is, it was transparent, it was passionate, it was honest, and it was a learning experience for everyone. This work is not easy. Sometimes we think because we have a bucket of money or a pot of money, we can just turn it on and break ground. That's not how this works. The work that Miss Sabrina, Miss Jackie, and Miss Cheryl, they can attest to you, that grassroots work, that's not easy work either. Mr. Cyril, he can also tell you, it's not easy work. But if we can only accomplish those things once we come together and have that honest, transparent dialogue, because we all want the same thing. It's easy for us to sit and point the finger. It's easy for us to be critical of what someone is doing and not doing and to criticize their leadership. But the real work is on the ground each and every day. When the cameras go away, when the second lines go away, the work still goes on. And it goes on mostly, and I said this yesterday, when the politicians get out of the way and when the politics get out the way, we get more accomplished. We in political office are the vessels to get accomplished what you, the people, want to get done. And it can only get done with you all. So with that, I want to conclude and say thank you all. Miss Jackie, Miss Sabrina, Cheryl, Cyril, and the whole SOS team. Thank you all for not giving up on this project. Thank you all for keeping the pressure on us. Thank you all for letting us get past the word resilient and acknowledging that New Orleanians are strong, persistent, and enduring. And in closing, it's okay. It's okay for us to grieve. It's okay for us to check on our mental health. It's okay for us to be sad and depressed. We can't get into the narrative that we have to be resilient, that we have to be strong in front of the camera, because as someone, and I think Mr. Threat can attest to this, if you've seen what we've seen, trauma is real. Mental health is real. And so many of us suffer from it, yours truly. We haven't been treated fully from Katrina as of yet. Many adults and many kids still suffer. And so on that note, I want us to keep our neighbors in mind. I want us to keep each other in mind, like I know we will. Thank you all. I appreciate you all being here.
Beautiful, beautiful words. And before we close out, I'm going to ask Jeff, you're going to say a few words before we say the best for last. All right, come on, Jeff, and then we'll get to.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, everybody. And anybody that knows me knows I should never extemporize, so I got some notes here. But it really is a great day, and I think the sentiment that's been shared here today, I could not but put an exclamation point on it. And I'm going to start with gratitude and finish with vision and where are we going next. First and foremost, Madam Mayor, thank you. Thank you for your leadership and your willingness to hear and pivot when the moment called for it. I think it's essential in the work of leadership. Thank you to the council members and the elected officials that are here today. This is work that requires folks to stand up and acknowledge that it's not easy, and we all need to work together to get to where we're trying to go. To Eddie and the whole FEMA team, that is a running through line here where we all want to look at the really big picture, but there is a lot of money on the table that if we didn't all come together and figure out how to get to the milestones along the way, we wouldn't be here today, much less where we want to be tomorrow. So thank you all. Thank you to the colleagues at City Hall, Joe and Vincent, Lenitra, I see you hiding over there. Miguel, Courtney and Andrew on Team OED, and so many others. Yep. As the mayor said, there are just so many people behind the scenes day to day doing the work. Mike Karam, Director of Parks and Parkways, is here. I'm sure I'm missing others, but I just feel gratitude every day for the folks inside City Hall. It's not the easiest environment to work in, but it's the best work. And the folks who know the calling for public service, whether you're elected or whether you want to be rolling up your sleeves every day, there's truly nothing better. I don't know if Jade and Jawan are here. I don't see Jade or Jawan. There she is. But sometimes you need a shepherd along the way, someone who can translate and be that communicator. So thank you, Jade and Jawan, for lending your immense talents and skills. Yes, here. And I don't know if the Greater New Orleans Foundation is here today, but they are going to be instrumental partners in doing the work going forward, and they've thrown their hat in the ring as well. So thank you to Andy and Carla and Zach for taking next steps with us. And then most importantly, the SOSC team. I actually parked, I saw Cyril on the back side of the park, and I parked on that side. And, it was poignant for me because we spent 2 years meeting in the Tremay Center and in various locales in the immediate area. And just to know that's the work that leads to today. Everybody kind of sees these events, but just to know all that work, the come to Jesus moments, the, all the tough conversations, as Rep Knox said, you got to have those to get to today, and that's, I think, what we're all here for. And then I'm going to shout out Miss Sabrina real quick, who consistently held up that the work that we are doing here together is a model. And I think, Vince or Joe or the mayor, someone else said, just, the work of collaborating between community and the public sector, there is no better work. And so just grateful again to the whole SOSC team. I don't think there's a more poignant and fitting project to mark Katrina 20, because as we all know, the mayor, my favorite line of the mayor's is, we pick cans up that folks have been kicking down the road for a long time. And, there's good reasons and bad why that's the case, but we all know that these buildings, like Municipal Auditorium or Charity or Six Flags or Mercy, that was 20 years ago. And I think we all know that progress never happens quickly enough, but we've already all talked about the work that it takes to get to today. And I can't think of more hallowed ground than to be on Congo Square, which, far be it from me, I'm not the expert here, but I think it's safe to say it is the fountainhead of indigenous culture in America. See Wood with Cultural Economy here, who can riff on this at length. But this is hallowed ground, and to mark the last 20 years and think about where we are going for the next 20 years and beyond, that is the work that we're all signed up for. And so I think it's incredibly important that we are here today marking this moment. I'm going to finish by saying that this project is actually all about the future, right? This is just the first step of many. We are going to create a world-class cultural campus here at Municipal Auditorium in Armstrong Park. It is going to be a 9-figure project with lots of commas and zeros in it, and it is going to take years to put it all together, but that's the work that we are all here for. We're going to create a just and equitable project that will not only undo decades of failed urban planning and urban renewal, but invest in and build on the legacy of Congo Square, the Treme, and the unparalleled cultural traditions of our city. We're going to we're going to create jobs. We're going to promote neighborhood and small business development without displacement. We're going to build blue and green infrastructure. We're going to create new and innovative urban open spaces that allow us to dance and live more sustainably. And that is true economic development to me. That is the essence of community and economic development. And I can't wait to roll up my sleeves and take those next steps with you all. So thank you all. And with that, Ms. Jackie can bring us in.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. But as Representative Knox said, the real work, it happens on the ground. And it's fueled with passion and really inspired by love, because you allow yourselves to really understand, and you allow that understanding from listening and collaboration. As 20 years ago, a neighborhood leader of Broadmoor that became that model for post-disaster recovery, that's where I really understood the need not only to listen, but how government has to work with you. The largest, the biggest ticket in town in terms of needing to work with government, but government can't do it and shouldn't do it without community. So I'm saving, and we've saved the best for last, baby. And the best is in the community of Treme through Save Our Souls. And I believe, Ms. Harris, you're going to represent. But I'm telling you, but maybe you need Miss Sabrina and Miss Cheryl to come side. Yeah, come on up. Let's give them some love. Yes, let's give them some love. Come on, you come too. Now on this one, I can sit down.
As direct as I can be sometimes, I'm also a crybaby, so I hope I don't cry. But this is a prime example of what can happen when people have a difference of opinion. They come together, they leave their egos outside, and they, as the mayor said, are willing to listen. These people have worked many, many hours, 6 a.m. in the morning, 12 midnight at night, talking to each other. We had some hot days, but I have to say that the mayor's staff, you guys are the best, because we would not be here were it not for you. Jeff is the peacemaker. we always tease him. He loves words, you know. But we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
Thank you, Jeff.
And we cannot leave without really speaking to the families that lost their businesses and their homes to create this park. And Treme deserves this. And the ancestors and the families of the people who gave up their homes deserve this. We have to leave something for our children. And if we don't do that, shame on us. And we've come together to do that. Thanks all of you for coming out, and to all of the elected officials that worked with us. And Mayor, I got to give it to you. You put it together and you made it happen. Many years before you, it's your administration that did this. There were two more in front of you.
Yes, yes.
And they didn't do it, but you did, and I thank you for that.
All right, and listen, let's give it up one more time. Save our souls, Treme community. And I was told that Senator Duplessis came up. Where did he go? I don't see him. Oh, Senator, we acknowledge you and your leadership. Is there anything you want to share on behalf? We heard from Representative Knox. We need to hear from the senator, too. We heard from the councilman. So come on up.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I will be quick. There's not much more to add other than what already has been said. This is a true representation of what it looks like when community leads the way. And oftentimes that means that there's going to be some disagreement because the community has to step in and say, no, we want it to go a particular way. The mayor, we all work together. And this is a beautiful thing when we can come together as government, as community to honor the history, preserve the history, and promote the history towards a better future in this special place here in Congo Square, Municipal Auditorium. I remember as a kid coming here. It was a real honor when the community and SOS came to me and asked me to bring the legislation to amend the bill, and Cheryl and Jackie and Miss Sabrina and Jacques and all of you. I was like, I get to do this? I get to work on this? So, you know, Rep. Knox is now leading the way of representing Treme. Madam Mayor, thank you for your leadership on this, and I'm excited for what's to come. Thank y'all so much. Thank you.
All right, the future of the city is in good hands because of you all, so I believe we're going to be groundbreaking. What we doing that? Okay, so we're going to break some ground right behind. Okay, just turn around on the corner. We'll break ground. Thank you all so much.